Episode 43 of Trying British Foods. I live in Manhattan and I discovered a shop that sells British food items that are not otherwise available in American stores, so I'm working my way through recommendations that you all send to me. One of the most frequent comments that I receive on all my videos anytime, especially if I'm kind of indifferent about something, is people say, oh, no, in order to enjoy that properly, you have to dunk it into a proper cup of tea. This episode, I not only have tea, but I have a number of items of which I assume it's appropriate to dunk into tea, so I'm going to go through those. Although, your very own William Hanson is on this app. He's an etiquette coach of sorts, and he said it's actually completely inappropriate and improper to ever dunk anything into your tea. He says it's very common. So if he gets mad at me, or if any of you get mad at me for dunking, I'm just following instructions, okay? So first, the tea that I have is this Yorkshire tea. It's this biscuit brew, malty biscuit brew. So I have had the jam and toast flavored tea from Yorkshire before. I've not had this biscuit brew. I tried a little bit of it on one of my lives recently, but I don't think I really brewed it properly. So in this case, I have followed the instructions down to a T. I had to, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try it on its own first, and then I will dunk the items into it afterwards. Malty biscuit brew. Here's a miraculous tea that tastes like biscuits. Because when those two flavors combined, the resulting deliciousness creates a wave of happiness big enough to power an entire human being. It's a tea break full of biscuity goodness that doesn't get crumbs on your jumper. Oh, and so for my two American viewers, jumper is like what we would call a sweater. A very nice man in London whose name I never caught taught me that. A proper brew. When we say our tea is proper, we mean it's really good quality and it's made with respect for people and the planet. We work hard to make a brew you'll be proud of, and because of you, we can do lots of good stuff around the world. Like investing properly and building long-lasting relationships with the people and communities who grow our tea. Always so much context. Why is there always so much story? I think the only brands that have Yorkshire tea beat for background and context, well, the Shreddies, of course. I still haven't finished reading the box of Shreddies. I have a few more chapters left on that box. But then the other one is the Ambrosia custard, where it's always like, 5 centuries ago on a rocky hill in northern England, like it's all, it's very that. So, but anyway, I feel like now I have enough information that I can have the biscuit brew tea. Then in terms of items to dunk into the tea, first up I have these hobnobs, which, I mean, any variant of the word knob just always makes me laugh. So these are the milk chocolate, it says the Odie one. So this is milk chocolate Odie knobbly biscuits. Knobbly here is used as a very serious adjective. Yeah, so baked with 100% whole grain oats. Wonderful. Okay, great. Then I have these digestives, which the name of this is never not going to sound odd to me. It sounds medicinal, which maybe indeed it is. But so am I saying that right? Digestives, that's correct. So these are also the milk chocolate. But so these actually boast, they say they're the nation's favorite, which I noticed that the hobnobs do not make that claim. So digestives are the nation's favorite. So these are wheat meal biscuits covered in milk chocolate. Okay, so the distinction, we have wheat versus oat is what I'm getting here. Okay. And then last but not least, I have these Jammy Dodgers. New fruitier jam, how about that? It's on the right show, that's for sure. A raspberry flavor, I guess maybe there are other flavors? I think I've only ever seen raspberry. So these are shortcake biscuits with a raspberry flavor apple jam. What? Is apple jam a technical term? Why wouldn't you just say this is raspberry flavor jam, raspberry flavor apple jam? I don't know. Someone explain that to me, please. I'd appreciate it. Here, just a quick note of what I love on the packaging of British products. We have a couple of jokes buried into the instructions. So first, under the storage instructions, it says store in a cool, dry place, away from strong light and cupboard raiders. Once opened, store in an airtight container. Lovely. And then there is contact information, of course, if you need to contact Jammy Dodgers. And it says, we'd love to hear your comments, questions, and tales of mischief. So the Jammy Dodgers are a bit naughty, it seems. That's the impression I'm getting here. The other thing I want to point out, though, is in my lives, when I was talking about Jammy Dodgers, there was actually very quickly 2 factions that broke out within the live. One who felt very strongly that Jammy Dodgers should be dunked in tea, and one that felt very strongly that Jammy Dodgers should not be dunked in tea. Now, as you can imagine, both sides presented their arguments very calmly and with a very appropriate amount of urgency and scale. So what I decided to do, I'm just going to try both. I'm going to try without first, dunking second, and then I will declare a winner at the end of this episode. First, just to try the biscuit brew on its own. So here we are. I have a bit of milk. Here again, the tea tastes perfectly good. I am honestly not getting flavor out of this. This just tastes like ordinary tea to me, whereas the jam and toast very much tasted like jam and toast. This does not taste bad. It just tastes like ordinary tea. I feel like I'm being conned a little bit here. I mean, it's good. It just, I'm just not really getting flavor from it. It's very odd. The Hobnobs. Here we are. So this actually, it's a little misleading because the chocolate is only on one side. It's not covered in milk chocolate. It's just, you know, maybe coated or, I don't know, layered with milk chocolate. But that's okay. That's okay. All right. So let's just do this. Okay. I'm sure I'm probably dunking it incorrectly. Why do Americans always dunk with it? Why do Americans take the chocolate out of the wrapper? I have thoughts. I'm going to withhold a verdict until I've had both of them. So let's do the digestives now. Same thing, chocolate only on one side. So of the two of these, I do prefer the Hobnobs, I have to say. Although, you know, these are very, very similar to each other, of course. And that's what I'm wanting to say. I'm not criticizing. I am merely, as an outsider, inviting you to question the necessity of this distinction. These are just very, very similar. I feel like you need a bit more variety in your biscuit aisle, but that's just me talking. The Jammy Dodgers. Without first. And now dunking it. I absolutely am team dunking on this one. It was much better dunking in the tea than without. Jammy Dodgers, they're great. They're very, very sweet, very sticky, but they're good. Yeah, team dunk all the way. Thank you very much for your recommendations. Please do check out my other links, and I will see you next time.